A local company is out with a new system that it says can make schools and churches and all public places safer. And with us now from Mutualink is Chief Joe Dooley. I call you Chief because once a chief, you get to keep that title for the rest of your life, correct?
Thank you. Joe also works.
All right, okay. Well, give us a little background on your law enforcement career.
Well, I spent 41 years in law enforcement, retired about a year and a half ago. I retired as a chief in the town of Orange, and then I was the chief at Southern Connecticut State University Police for 16 years, and I was an end user of the Mutualink product at that time, and Mutualink interviewed me, and I'm actually proud to be with the company now.
And they're based out of Wallingford.
Yes, they are. We're a nationwide company based in Wallingford.
So tell us a little bit about what they do.
So our product is basically automated emergency response. And so we're in school systems, we're in hospitals, we're in corporations. It essentially will take the technology that a business or corporation has or a school system and opens that technology, such as cameras, radio systems, and floor plans that most places have and police departments have, but we colorize those floor plans and we put the cameras on the floor plans so they become interactive. So essentially, when something happens in a school systems generally do not want the police monitoring the cameras because of privacy laws, but we activate the Mutualink product and it drops in cameras, drops into floor plans, and drops into school radio. The typical approach now is if someone calls 911, they're describing what's going on. Sometimes it's incoherent, you can't understand what they're saying. Sometimes there's no one talking. Or the person who's calling is just telling you what they know they were told to call. So first responders are going lights and siren with little to no information, and the first information that comes about is when they enter the building, and it's only what they see and hear at that time. What Mutualink does is the system gets activated let's use the school as an example. It gets activated, it instantly drops in the cameras, the radio, and colorized floor plans. So now the dispatcher or command staff at the police department can narrate what's going on.
All right, let's. You have a video that we want to show.
Yes.
We'll listen to you for a couple seconds, and then I want you to describe what we're seeing.
Waterbury PD, what's going on?
Frank School, Waterbury PD. We have an intruder in the building.
Yeah, so when someone activates the system, the cameras, 3 or 4 cameras in the school will automatically populate, as well as this colorized floor plan. So the police department receives a signal. It's an invite system. They accept it. Those devices or technology come into the police department, and they can see what's going on. They can talk over the school's radio system, and then they can tell the responding officers what's going on before they arrive.
So how common is this system being used right now?
Well, we're in thousands of schools throughout the country. We're heavily deployed in Connecticut, basically post-Sandy Hook. In all of these tragedies, there's chaos, there's confusion, and there is a lack of communication amongst the first responders. Connecticut especially, there's large cities, but there are a lot of small cities and medium cities. They're coming whether they get invited or not, so it's called self-dispatch. Our system allows the initial 911 agency to receive it, but then what we call a drag and drop for others on the system, drop them into it so they can see it also.
And how do they pay for it? Is it expensive?
It's not expensive when you consider what it does. There are state and federal grants. The last few years, the state of Connecticut has had school safety grants, and many school systems have applied for it. We're hoping that another round is going to be issued in 2024. And we're encouraging school systems and boards of ed and parents to seriously take a look at what we do, because information is power. You need to know what's going on before you even arrive.
Can a parent just call and say, hey, what kind of system do we have in place?
They can. Most school systems, especially today, there's been a lot of money spent on the technology, such as cameras, panic buttons, and items like that. But those are usually not that helpful for the first responders. There's been lots of training, and I'm sure that they're following all the major guidelines. The one, I call it that one frontier that needs to be approached, is giving the first responders the tools that are necessary to mitigate these threats and do it in a quick fashion. And I think they should be asking, the administrators how that's being done. Everybody is fighting over priorities for budgets, but life safety comes first and foremost.
It's a fair question for parents to ask. All right. Chief Joe Dooley. We'll always call you Chief. You always get to keep that name from Mutualink. We thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you.
A bit of Hollywood came to Hartford for a big movie premiere. That story when we come back.